U.S. athletes have started to arrive in South Korea for the 2018 Winter Olympics that begin next week. Also today, 28 Russian athletes who had been banned from competition for doping have had their sanctions lifted. Barry Arendt reports.
In South Korea at last, Team USA speed skaters arriving at their Olympic Village. North Korea also sending speed skaters to the Games. The Americans looking past the tensions between the U.S. and the North Korean regime.
I'm just here to compete for the U.S. and just be able to just do really awesome. So.
Well, we'll just treat them like any other competitor. I mean, that's how that's what they are. They're here to compete. 10
North Korean skaters and skiers arrived at the athletes' village, their country's flag flying in South Korean territory. But at the Games, North and South will march under a neutral Korean flag. And then there are the Russians, welcomed to Korea in their neutral white jackets, barred from competing as a national team over doping by other athletes at past Olympics. As this smaller than normal contingent arrived, 28 other Russians had their sanctions lifted. The Sports Arbitration Court finding not enough evidence that they cheated at the 2014 Sochi Games. Russia's president pleased with the court decision, reversing bans in more than half the cases.
We're happy with this decision. It confirms our position that the great majority of our athletes are clean and do not use doping.
The International Olympic Committee says not so fast. Athletes who won their appeals still may not be allowed to compete.
Not being sanctioned does not automatically confer the privilege of an invitation.
So what does this mean? Turmoil and a frantic last-minute rush to the starting line in Pyeongchang for some Russian athletes who won their appeals and have their country's blessing. Their invitations not yet in the mail. Barry Arendt, NBC News.
Winter Olympics coverage begins on February 8th right here on KVOA News 4. The opening ceremony is February 9th. Up next on News 4 Tucson at 4, it looks like the House of Cards will continue to stand, just with a different cast.